everybody, Namaskar. Welcome back to my English tutorial class. I am Meena Kargeti. Students, today I am not going to teach you English grammar. I am going to explain a poem of class 10th from NCERT's books First Flight. It is the first poem. Its name is Dust of Snow, composed by Robert Frost, an American poet. Students, these two pictures are Robert Frost. The first one is of his early age when he was a young man, and the second one of his later time when he became an old man. So, before explaining the poem, I want to tell you something about Robert Frost. Robert Frost's full name was Robert Lee Frost. He is one of the most celebrated figure in American poetry. He was born on 26 March 1874 in San Francisco, California, USA. His father's name was William Prescott, who was a journalist, and his mother was Isabel Moody. Unfortunately, Robert Frost lost his father in his childhood. He spent his early 40 years as an unknown figure. He could not earn any name, but afterward he earned a great name and fame in poetry. He is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He was honored the Congressional Gold Medal when he was 86 in 1960. Robert Frost was a realistic poet. He depicted realistic rural life of New England in his poetry through his language and situations. Robert Frost died on 29th January 1963 in Boston. So students, this is the short introduction of Robert Lee Frost. If you like, you can take a screenshot of this page. Okay, now I am reading this poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. This is a short poem of 8 lines based on a simple, common incident of snow falling. Students, this is the specialty of Robert Frost. His most of poems are based on simple incidents, and at first sight you will say that it is a very common and simple poem, but there are deep meaning and great messages in his poems. This one is also like them. The poet, it was middle wintry season. There was snow all around. The poet was in sad mood. He was standing under a hemlock tree. Okay. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. These 4 lines make the first stanza. Okay. The way a crow. It happened so that a crow that was sitting on a hemlock tree shook down some dust of snow, means some flake of snow, shook down on me. Me means the poet, because he was standing under the tree, beneath a hemlock tree on which there was sitting a crow. The poet was standing beneath hemlock tree and a crow was sitting on the hemlock tree. It so happened that the crow shook down some flake of snow, some particles of snow from the hemlock tree on the poet unknowingly, without any intention, has given my heart a change of mood. When the snow fell on the body of the poet, he felt the chillness of the snow. It has given his heart a delightness, and it has changed the mood of the poet, because he was sad, he was lost in his deep depressing thoughts. When he felt the chillness of the snow, he woke at once and he came out from those depressing thoughts, and his mood changed. He found a serene whiteness all around him. And he says, He says that thus this incident had saved some part of his life, of his day, that was going to be ruined by his depressing thoughts, because he was sad, he was not in a hilarious mood, he was not happy, so his day was going to be bad. But this incident had saved some part of that day from being ruined or being spoiled. So, students, this is based on a very simple thing. The first stanza of 4 lines, there are negative things. The crow, the hemlock tree, these are negative things, because crow is a common black bird. It is not an attractive bird. It is unattractive bird, black colored, ugly, and it is considered ill omen too. Neither its appearance nor its voice is so attractive, but its voice is very harsh. So nobody likes crow. It is a negative thing. And when it shook down some flake of snow from the hemlock tree. What is hemlock tree? Hemlock tree is considered a poisonous tree. There blooms white colored flowers on it, but the flowers don't give sweet smell. They give a bad smell. So it is considered a poisonous tree. So it is also a negative thing. Because the poet was in sad mood, so everything was negative. But when there is darkness, when there is total darkness, there is also a ray of hope, a ray of light comes from anywhere. This is the gist of the poem, that the poet was sad and everything was negative there. But when the crow shook down some flake of the snow on the poet's body unknowingly, unintendedly, it gave its chillness, gave the delightness in the heart of the poet, and his mood changed. He came out from he needed a break, and he found that break, and he came out from his depressing thoughts, and he thanked to God that this incident saved some part of his day that was going to be ruined by his depressing thought. So, the message of the poem is that there are so many little and common things all around of us, and we ignore them. It is true that we ignore them. We do not give them importance because we think they are very common or very little things, but they have their importance and they have their value too, because only then they have an existence in this world. Okay, so crow has its own importance, hemlock tree has its own importance, and these little things, these ignored things gave him a delight. तो कहने का मतलब ये है बच्चों कि हमारी ज़िंदगी में बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जिनको हम कोई महत्व नहीं देते, लेकिन जो चीज़ इस दुनिया में है उसका महत्व है। ये बात सच है कि कोई भी चीज़ बिना किसी महत्व के इस दुनिया में नहीं है। चींटी से लेकर हाथी तक हर किसी का अपना एक महत्व है। उनका महत्व हमें समय समय पर पता लगता है। वी शुड नॉट इग्नोर देम, वी शुड अचीव, वी शुड गेन द लिटिल जॉयज़ ऑफ आवर लाइफ। हमें दुनिया के साथ, दुनिया के हर चीज़ को महत्व देना चाहिए, एक इग्नोर करके नहीं रख देना चाहिए। छोटी से छोटी, जैसे वो कौवा है, क्योंकि मैं अब कविता को हिंदी में आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ कि कवि बहुत उदास मूड में था और वो एक हेमलॉक ट्री के नीचे खड़ा हुआ था। हेमलॉक वृक्ष को एक पॉइजनस वृक्ष माना जाता है, क्योंकि जो उसमें फूल लगते हैं सफ़ेद रंग के, वो बहुत अच्छी खुशबू नहीं देते, बल्कि खुशबू देते ही नहीं है, कुछ बैड सी स्मेल उसमें से निकलती है, इसलिए उसे पॉइजनस ट्री माना जाता है। और जो कौवा है उसको भी कोई शगुन वाला पक्षी नहीं माना जाता, क्योंकि बेचारे की ना तो उसके पास बहुत कलरफुल विंग्स हैं, कलरफुल बॉडी है, उसकी ब्लैक सी बॉडी है, आवाज़ भी उसकी थोड़ी कर्कश है, तो उसको हम अपशगुनी भी मानते हैं। तो वो भी एक नेगेटिव चीज़ है। इन नेगेटिव चीज़ों से घिरा हुआ कवि खड़ा हुआ था। तभी क्या हुआ कि उस कौवे के हिलने डुलने से जो पेड़ था, पेड़ में बर्फ जमी हुई थी, वो कवि के ऊपर गिर पड़ी, क्योंकि वो कवि उस पेड़ के नीचे खड़ा हुआ था। जब उस कवि ने उस बर्फ की छुअन को महसूस किया, ठंडक को महसूस किया अपने हाथों पे, शायद अपनी गर्दन पे या अपने माथे पर, तो उसके हृदय को एक आनंद सा, उस ठंडक ने एक हल्का सा आनंद पहुंचाया और उसका मूड एकदम से चेंज हो गया। तब शायद उसने अपने चारों ओर के वातावरण को देखा जो बड़े सफ़ेद थे, शांत वातावरण था। उससे उसका मूड एकदम से चेंज हो गया। जो वो बहुत ही निराशाजनक, उदासीन विचारों में खोया हुआ था, उन्हीं में उलझा हुआ था, उससे एकदम से उसे वो बाहर निकल गया। शायद उसे एक ब्रेक की ज़रूरत भी थी और वो ब्रेक उसे उस कौवे ने दे दिया। तो कवि कहता है कि वो जो दिन मेरा बर्बाद होने जा रहा था, वो जो दिन मैं पछताते हुए बिता रहा था, दुखी था, क्योंकि उससे मैंने कुछ हिस्से बचा लिए, कुछ घंटे, कुछ क्षण मैंने उसके बचा लिए। दिस इज द पोम। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू द राइमिंग लाइन्स ऑफ दिस पोम. Crow, the first line's last word is crow, and I give this, its name is A. Okay, A. First line is A. Then second line is me. Second line's last word is me. That is not rhyming to crow, so its name is B. And third line's last word is no. That resembles to crow, so its name is also A. And fourth line's last word is tree. That resembles to me, so its name is B. So what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, A, B. Now fifth line's last word is heart. That is totally different from tree, snow, so its name is C. And mood does not resemble to heart, tree and snow, so it is D. Now seventh line's last word is part. That is rhyming to heart, so its name is C. And last line's last word is root. That is rhyming to mood, so its name is D. So the rhyming scheme is C, D, C, D. Now the total rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. Okay students, now let me analyze the poem. There are 4 characters in the poem. First is crow, second is hemlock tree, third is snow, that is our nature, and fourth is poet himself. स्टूडेंट्स, मैं इस कविता का विश्लेषण कर रही हूँ, जिसमें कविता के पात्रों का, जिसमें 4 पात्र हैं. नंबर 1 कौवा, नंबर 2 वो हेमलॉक ट्री, नंबर 3 वो बर्फ या हमारा प्रकृति, और नंबर 4 वो कवि खुद. सो क्रो, आई टोल्ड यू बिफोर, crow is an unattractive bird. It's a common bird. It has neither a good appearance nor a good voice. Its voice is harsh and it is considered an ill omen. But here in this poem, when the poet needed a break from his depressing thought, who gave him this break? The crow. So the crow is unlikely an angel for the poet. So crow, there is something good in that. So negative things, there is a positive thing. The crow is the source of the happiness of the poet, because he shook down some flake of snow on the body of the poet. Although he did not do so intentionally, he did unknowingly, but unknowingly, okay, he is the source of his happiness. Number 2, hemlock tree, that is considered a poisonous tree. But here, where the crow was sitting on the hemlock tree. On who was standing in, and where the poet was standing? Poet was standing under the hemlock tree, or hemlock tree was covered with snow. When the crow shook down the flake of snow from the hemlock tree, the poet felt its chillness. So hemlock tree is also the source of happiness. Okay, happiness of the poet. Number 3, snow. Snow is not a negative thing. Dust of snow is not a negative thing. It has some positive thing. It is its softness, its chillness make it a positive thing, because it is an aspect of our nature. that is our foster mother. And nature has an amazing power to regenerate us. And so, uh, I say that nature is our foster mother. She gives us everything selflessly. Its beauty attracts us. So, it is also the source of joy and happiness for the poet. And last number is poet himself. Poet is sad. Poet was sad on that day, but he is not a pessimist. What is pessimist? Pessimist is one who looks the dark side of thing. But the poet does not look the dark side of thing. Its opposite is optimist. Optimist who looks the bright side of a thing. Although the poet was sad, but he was not a pessimist. When he felt the chillness of the snow and he noticed his surrounding, his heart delighted and his mood changed and he became happy. If he were a pessimist, he could not be happy. Okay, so he was sad, not pessimist. So this was the analysis of the poem. So students, I have written some word meanings and rhyming scheme, and I told you the poem was published in 1923. So if you like, you can take a screenshot of this page also. Students, if you like my video, please share, subscribe and give me comments so that I may make some other videos too, and I may explain some other poems too. Okay, till then, stay safe, stay home. Bye.